Jungle, it's just big in every aspect.
Fast beats, deep bass line.
When you're making jungle music, there's no rules.
It's a feeling of like, this is us. This is what we are. This is jungle.
Jungle is something that is very unique to Britain because we have that specific mix of the British vibe with the Caribbean or the African as well. You can't get in any, I don't see being made in any other country. I call it Lively Up Yourself and Knees Up Mother Brown. You mix them two together, you got jungle.
I'll take you back. In 1988-89, there was a scene known as the Acid House scene. There were hundreds of thousands of young people going out every weekend, and they were raving to Acid House music, taking E's, taking pills, going raving for days and days. A lot of us used to go to these Acid House raves.
You've got to remember, there was a lot of madness going on in those times. There was oppression going on, it was a tough time, there was high unemployment. People wanted a release.
The government, because these raves were illegal raves, saw fit to ban Acid House raves. But the thing is, in these raves was the start of most of the subgenres of music in the early 90s. Like hardcore, trance, garage, jungle, they were all there under one roof. As a result of that, all of these genres, they split up and they went into clubs.
When I was running Ibiza raves, Fantastic Ibiza, all the promoters were white and I was the only black promoter. And sitting in a room with all these promoters organising these big events, and they turn and say, oh, we want to keep the blacks out the rave, we don't want them in the raves and this and that. And I'm sitting there and I thought to myself, well, I'm black, I'm not white. So when you're talking like that, be careful.
Black people couldn't really get into the clubs, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I went to a club one night and the guy said to me, oh, I don't like your aftershave, so you're not coming in. Do you know what I mean? That's how bad it was back then. This is like real stuff, man. I thought, you know what, this has got to change, man.
And I thought to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show the inner city about the blackness. I'm going to show them blackness. So we set up the jungle thing for that reason.
Every music had fall to the floor, boom, 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 boom. People started adding breakbeats. That's how you get the mashup kind of style. Jungle came from people taking away that fall to the floor and just being left with the speeded up hip hop break. Whereas hardcore would be about 150 BPM, jungle would be at 165, 170 BPM.
Strictly aiming beats.
The Amen break is a breakdown in a record. I can't remember who it's by and I should know.
One of the most used drum breaks in jungle up to this date.
A lot of people were instrumental in branching it into a new sound. I think that came from experimentation, you know.
I'm just going to record it in for him.
We're human, aren't we? So we always keep on pushing boundaries no matter what we do. So you get into a studio, you try something new.
We were mixing techno and breakbeat, but then it also comes from funk and soul and reggae. You know, all of these things were fused into it.
Producers like Shy FX came with a completely new sound. I think that Shy was one of the first producers I know that produced music on a computer. I couldn't even comprehend how that would work.
We used to make music on a Commodore Amiga, a program called Octamed.
The Akai sampler to me is instrumental in the birth of electronic music.
We took all of this equipment that people didn't really fuck with and broke it open and started fixing it and making it our own. The sound was rough. The beats were just rough. It was like the darkest B lines that were sound system B lines, and the breaks were loose and they were running.
Get a ragga sample in there, or you get someone actually singing a whole ragga song.
It wasn't always references to black music. It was also just samples, anything that was like sampled that shouldn't really fit.
People's been bantering with the name, trying to get a name for this music.
Where did the name jungle come from? Do you know?
We'd actually sampling a Jane Brown's album. When that Jane Brown album had Jungle Groove, 1975 Jungle Groove, and I said to him, sample the album, man, and call the damn thing Jungle Techno.
He came and he said, we're going to use this word jungle for this music. It's a bit controversial, you know, because back in the 80s, 70s and 80s, reggae music was called jungle bunny music.
I never once thought the name jungle was a racist term, never.
The term for me, which is subjective to how I saw it, was concrete jungle. I heard Fabio say it. Man, this concrete jungle music's mad, you know, because we didn't know what to call it. Concrete jungle. And it kind of made sense to me because I've grown up in an interior of a concrete jungle, because the madness that goes on where I live, it's like a fucking jungle. And it's concrete.
There's a word jungle, but there's also the culture jungle, and I think the culture jungle came before the word.
Pirate radio was the lick, you know what I mean?
Pirate radio was instrumental in bringing people together.
We just basically used to give out all the information of all the events, meeting points of where the raves were happening.
The statement of it being the first internet, I think, is not far off. Prior to pirate radio, there was no way of communicating with each other. You know, like mobile phones were like a new invention, remember? Not everybody had a mobile phone. We're talking like way down the line before people had mobile phones to be able to just call and say, yo, what you doing tonight?
Pirate radio back in the day, it was powerful. It still is powerful. And back then it was even more powerful because there weren't loads of stations.
Big shout out to Lightning, Lisa, Crazy Carl, and Marvelous Marie.
Just to get your name bigged up on a pirate radio station was like the biggest thing. Like, I remember when they bigged up my name and I went to school and I was like a celebrity in school just for that.
You had people advertising their hairdresser on there, or you had people advertising their minicab on there.
£25 country club members, 30 quid non-members.
So important to the growth and the expansion of jungle.
You got me, Kenny Ken, up until 11 o'clock, playing you know what.
People drive from Birmingham to the edge of the M25 where they could pick up Cool FM, record for 3-4 hours, then drive back home.
Alexandra Palace sit up there on a nice summer day and just record Cool FM because they couldn't pick it up out of London.
Mad.
Cool FM is the Premier League pirate radio station.
Cool FM is the #1, the champion, the creator, everything.
You know, if it wasn't for Cool FM, I wouldn't be sitting here now. I've been on Cool FM 30 years. I've been offered radio slots on legal radio stations, and I've turned them down. Why? Because they're going to tell me what I need to do. They're going to tell me what I can't play. Cockroaches, you know what I'm saying, running across the decks. We haven't been chased by the police. I've done it because I love the music, and if we got money along the way, it was a bonus.
The first scramble was just to get on air. Back in the day, proper radio men and people who respected each other, you'd keep 2 digits away from anyone else. Just cuts down your frequency, because if you're jammed in, you don't get out as far because you're getting blocked in. You look for a gap somewhere, and at that time there was a gap on 945. We were well clear.
With a pirate radio station, you've got your aerial on a tower block and your transmitter and that.
You put your aerial on the highest point possible, like would be one of these tall blocks here, and you transmit.
Cool FM have the experience and the expertise.
We used to abseil down the building from the roof down to about the 18th floor at the side of the building. No ropes, no harnesses. Putting the transmitter in and securing it, and then climbing back up to the top of the roof. When you're young and you've got so much love of doing something for like your station, just do what you had to do. The adrenaline in your body keeps you going. So you're putting your life in danger? That's what you do for the love of music.
I just used to sit in a record shop while my mum went shopping for hours, like just listening to the songs. Maybe bought 1 record. I could probably buy 1 record a week or every 2 weeks.
The record shop almost became like a community centre. And when you went there, it was an experience, you know? It wasn't just buying records.
Go there, you can get flyers, buy tickets.
It was meeting friends, it was having a laugh, it was excitement about the party that was coming up.
Record hunting wasn't just about record hunting, it was about mixing with people and learning people and getting to know new people.
Yeah.
And
100%.
Yeah, man, the community itself, you know, a lot's been taken away because of emailing and all that sort of thing. It's true. Because people don't talk to each other no more. And that was important back then, you know?
I'd go GIFs in Chadwell Heath, I'd go Edgware Road, Bluebird Records, and then I'd end up at Black Market and Tracks. You used to go to all different record shops to go and get all of those flavours.
In my lunch break, I'd go and stand in Black Market and just listen to the tunes. Every day I went in there, I'd hear the latest tunes. So by the end of the week now, I'd have a whole heap of tunes, but not enough money to pay for them, you know?
And the interesting thing about it as well was the hierarchy in a record shop. Coming to the shop, there's a record, you're at the back of the queue, depending on how big your name is. You're trying to get to the front of the queue before the record's gone. They were very, very important and fun times.
The importance of music house and dub plates was integral to what was going on.
A dub plate's a piece of metal. It's actually metal. You bring a dat and they put it in, and Leon would cut it onto a piece of metal for you. It was £30 a pop. It wasn't on sale for everyone to just go and buy. Only a few people had it. Chai FX, Message, that was the biggest dub plate in the world. And I was the only person with it.
The amount of money I spent on dubs, some weeks it'd be a couple £100. Other weeks it could be as much as £1,000.
I probably spent, God, I mean, maybe around 50 grand on dub plates, easily.
My name's Nicholas. They call me Nicky Slimton because I'm skinny and I'm 16 years old.
At that time, I thought the only way I was going to get into one of these events is if I was the DJ. One of my uncles was a promoter, my other uncle was a DJ. I kind of just watched him DJ all the time and kind of taught myself, you know. When he used to go out, I used to jump on the decks.
The aim of it is try to get this record in this, at the same time, put the beats at the same time as this one.
As I'm mixing these two songs together, it needs to sound as one song, so the person doesn't even know that I've gone into another song.
Nice, one, it's in. So I'll bring it in on the crossfader.
And then you have the crossfader that you cross the mix over. DJs are not DJing like that now. You can press a button and it does it all for you.
There was quite a few of us female DJs, but of course in those days, one wasn't allowed to DJ in the main room, you see. I remember the promoter come up to me, and I didn't know it was the promoter at the time. I don't even know how I got the job. And he was like, "What do you think then? What do you think?" And I was like, "That's all right. I mean, decks look like they're Fisher Price, needles are crap, but what do you want, eh? I guess this is as good as it's going to get for tonight." And he was like, "Well, I'm the promoter, and who are you?" And I was like, "Oh, shit, you know." And he said, "What's your problem?" And I said, "My problem is I want to be in there with Fabio and Groove. I want to be in there on the mat. I want to play that room with all the buttons." And he was just like, you know, "Calm down, that's not going to happen." So sort of patted me on the head, but it became an ongoing joke. Every week he would come up to me and go, "Still pissed off, Rap?" And I'd be like, "Yep, still shit." And then one night Fabio didn't turn up, and he just came up to me and he went, "You better be as good as you say you are." And I was like, "Watch my dust." Vroom, off I go. And into that room I went. And I just tore the shit out of that place. And I got a residency that night, and that was it. I became the first female to ever play a main stage. You sort of go on there, and you just know what people need. A DJ's gift, in a way, is telepathy. It's an art form, you know?
Jungle 94, it took over. It was one of the biggest things in the world.
It was the sort of like the punk rock, the rock and roll of that time.
You walk down the road and all cars be playing at their cars, playing tapes.
I just remember seeing thousands of people raving to this music.
Sweat coming down from the ceiling, just loads of ravers just having it.
It was the best experience.
Girls them used to go out, get their hairs done, nails done.
It was amazing how they could dance to the music in them high heels, because, you know, the music is fast.
If you worked all week, you go and spend your money, buy the latest outfit, and yeah, you just want to be seen.
You went to a Jungle Fever, a VIP champagne bash. You better go shopping the day before and look crisp, because the women then were coming looking crisp, the man then were dressing nice. Man used to wear suit, you know what I mean? It's a suit to the rave. You know, you're thinking, wow, this ain't a wedding, it's a jungle rave.
I'd never been to any kind of event really, apart from like house parties on the end. So walking into a big jungle rave for the first time, thousands of people, just the whole experience of it, seeing, you know, UK guys on stage doing the thing, that was the first time I'd ever known what it was or whatever, so I was just totally blown away by it. And it's literally, as I came out of that event, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to know who these people are, I want to get into this scene, I want to be a part of this. The main thing that kind of got me recognised was I just started MCing about things that I thought most of my people that I was hanging around with would relate to. Playing Street Fighter, like cars or whatever, so you had things like the Auto Trader lyric that came out of it. Enter Auto Trader, Skibbity the supplier, Laguna, Toyota, MR2 Celica, Cavalier, Kelly, Ibra, Astro or Fiesta, enter my space cruiser, dealing with your matter, no Skoda, Strada, Honda, check Mazda, no Corsa, Sierra or Frontiera, put a bit of Benz, put a bit of Beamer, hyping up for the temperature, we deal with the matter, deal with it proper. Jeez!
We learnt on the job, and we just kept on pushing the boundaries. It's exciting. You know, you don't have to go to work anymore because you're getting paid as a young black man. It's like, you're not supposed to be there, and we're here, and we're legal. And that was a really nice feeling. For me, what Jungle did as well was also broke down class barriers. You were mixing with people from estates on Hackney, but with girls who were going to private school in Kensington.
Was the friendliness of the people. Black, white, Indian. Everything was there, all under one roof, raving.
We was one unit, and we was there for one thing mainly, for gal, and to enjoy ourselves. Because if you know me, Funky FLART, I was a gallus, yeah? But we won't go on to that, yeah? I didn't get my name for nothing.
I always thought that jungle was too good to just be kept to a few. The first time I heard Spiritual Aura in a Nike shop, it's a big deal when these records break through. But at that time, the philosophy was more keep a lid on it, keep everything tight, and let's keep this underground, which I understood. You know, we were like a bunch of outlaws running around without any conformity and stuff. So it was really good that this was our scene, it was sacred, it was special, fuck the police, you know, that whole anarchy sort of vibe. So I get where the vibe came from. But I've always thought that in order for something to grow, it needs to become popular. So when Incredible came along, it was just like, oh, this has just opened this doorway.
Hey, is the camera rolling?
Yeah.
Incredible was and is the biggest jungle tune in the world.
You can't keep a good thing a secret forever anyway.
How did Incredible come to be?
Oh, this question. Love it. Can appreciate it's like over 25 years ago, so some people have different recollections of what the story is, but I'm going to give what mine is. I was in it for the love of the music. I wasn't really in it for the glory. I mean, even this is my first ever interview.
I was dating a girl at the time from over East London, Michelle, and she was into jungle a lot. And she was taking me to a few jungle raves. So I was like, you know, I was still quite resistant because I was a hardcore reggae dancehall man.
My dad, who was my business partner for the record label, Rank Records, he had an idea to put live vocals on jungle because nobody was really doing that.
I thought that this would be perfect for me, a perfect opportunity for me to demonstrate my skills in a new scene. I did a previous album called Wickeder General, and Incredible was on that album. So Incredible was already written.
He came to the studio and I was totally not prepared. So I thought, you know what, let me just grab a backing track, which was Style, Sweet Girl Style, a nice girl patana. So if you listen to that track, Style, yeah, go and have a listen. That is the backing track for Incredible, and I just thought that will do. I told Levy to just spit on this.
I was able to be more commanding with my voice on a jungle track, which I liked.
Jungle is massive.
When you hear wicked, wicked, jungle is massive, I sat there for about a week chopping up his vocal and put it all together.
The original dancehall jungle is there.
And that's not taking anything away from what he done, because what he done was amazing.
Trouble. I want to tell a murderer.
I'm saying I am the incredible general. It's like a battling song.
Then he goes off into the verse.
Yo, mad the whole of them and spin them like a windmill. That means mad all the contenders, all the haters, everybody's against you. You mad the whole of them and spin them like a windmill. New talk for them, got to tell them we got the skill. We got a new talk again. New talk, new tune again, because we got the skill. Dance can't be nice unless my name's on the bill.
Then the big one is when it goes. Booyaka, booyaka, and beat run the dance. Booyaka, booyaka, we don't take back no talk. That means whatever we say, we mean it. That's me pressing 2 different keys on the keyboard. Incredible. Incredible. I thought the tune had finished. Because I thought the tune had finished, I just started talking it. Incredible. And then when we heard it back, we just kept it because it sounded cool. So that's a bad man tune, fam. All right? It's a bad man tune. All right? To be honest, I just thought it was just another day at the office, to be honest. There was no expectation. We put it on dub plate, and then basically we put it out there, and the reaction, trust me, it was just crazy, which kind of surprised me. It was a bit overwhelming. The amount of excitement that song caused, we knew it was a hit. If I remember rightly, we was on Top of the Pops a good few times. And I said, yeah, you're number 8, and top of the number 8. And I was like, okay, wow. To be honest with you, it should have gone to, it should have gone to number 1. It was a hot track at the time.
We didn't want our thing to go on Top of the Pops, did we? We were just in the dance, in the clubs, in the underground scene.
The scene had its own commanders and chiefs, if you want to put it that way. So when you got this label outside of the scene, they didn't like him. Go blame yourself, Jenny Levy, because when they interviewed Jenny Levy, he turned around and says, I invented jungle.
Everyone knows what happened. Like, basically, he said the wrong thing at the wrong time, and everyone went against him.
And that caused the problem. He should have never said that.
I'd never actually said I create jungle, all right? But I wish I did. But I didn't.
He said he never said that. He said he never said that. So, and I believe that he never said that.
I went on a stage at Walthamstow Assembly Hall. I looked at 2,000 people and said, this is jungle music. We've created something incredible here. We should be so proud. Jamaicans have got reggae, America's got hip hop, and the English have jungle. We have created something great here. Now, that journalist from The Face magazine took my quote out of context, put it in a magazine where people can read, and it says, I created jungle. Where I wasn't saying that. I was saying us as a people. I didn't really get involved. I know that Levy got the brunt of that. I was humiliated. You understand? When people humiliate you, you're walking in Asda, people say, what did you say, man? What did you say, man? So, what are you talking about?
It turned on him. Not his fault. Not his fault, just to have the scene with at the time.
They formed a committee to get rid of General Levy. If people ever knew these names, you'd be very surprised at some of these names. Some of your favourite DJs was on the committee.
I got invited in on this meeting.
They turned around and said nobody should play the tune. And a few people listened to them. And it was like, how could you do this? Why stop playing the man's tune?
I remember basically being told that we shouldn't play this record, we should boycott this record.
And big up DJ Rap, because she was the only person who played. She went against the grain.
Big up, Levy. I nearly got killed for you.
And she played it.
I actually started all my sets with it just to make a point. My view was, you can't tell me, if we're in this free-roaming, anarchy-free society, hold on a minute, we're suddenly being told what to play. Like, it's like, am I in a totalitarian state? I mean, we are right now, but that's another story. But, like,
Someone said ban his tune. I said, all right, I'll go along with you lot. Do you want to ban it? They said, yeah. So we banned his tune on call, which, I don't know, I got no regrets, because what I did. It was me, personally, who had the authority to say, yep, it's banned. No one else could make me ban it, or no one else, they said they wanted it, and I said yes. So if I didn't want it banned, it wouldn't be banned. So it's down to me, and I told it, it's straight, that's me. I did that.
We were alienated within the scene, where people wouldn't work on the same bill as us. If we were on the bill, this big DJ wasn't coming. They teamed together, clicked together, that we don't get no bookings, we don't get nothing. We don't get any support.
How much copies did you sell in that time?
Well, this is the big question. That's something I don't know. I know it sold a lot. Unfortunately, I was never accounted to.
You sold not a penny?
Not a penny, no. 0. Didn't make a penny from Incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fam, let me tell you something. I had to go and sign on. Imagine you got a big tune and you got to sign on. I had to sign on, fam. I lose my girl, I lose all my second baby mother through this. I lose her. I even got dropped from my record company because they didn't want the stress. And I remember I got the phone and I put down the phone. And when I put down the phone, I looked round. This is not true. This is like in my kind of mind. I put down the phone and the door was open and she was gone. It's like, I lost the deal. What? I've lost the deal. What, really? Okay, no problem. Yo, babe, the door was open and she was gone.
I was going for a real bad time at that time, to be honest with you. I was in a very bad space. My father, we had a disagreement. Obviously, it came to a head. I was kicked out of the family home, basically. And that's how I became homeless.
Couldn't get recording deals for ages. I never got a recording deal again, really. And it just stopped a lot of stuff. I couldn't even get arrested in Harsden. People wouldn't even say hello to me in Harsden. I mean, I couldn't even get a bird at a club them time. I wasn't cool, you know? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't, he's a waste man.
It was hard because I wasn't bulletproof and yeah, I got phone calls started happening at night. We're coming to get you. You're going to get cut. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. And that went on for about a month. And then I was just like, I'll just come round and fucking do it. But there were moments it got a bit scary.
I was in the wilderness. I was on this blacklist, yeah, not getting no work, blah, blah, blah. And then one day I did a track with Sticky called Pull Up. And then we had to go to 1Extra to go and do an interview. So while I'm in the foyer in 1Extra, I see all these guys walking past, Dizzy Rascal, Fecky, all these guys walking past what I see online. I'm like, wow, the grime youths them, what they're doing up here. A lady came out, a lovely lady with a little board, and she said, oh, you wanted in that room, Mr. Levy? I said, what, in that room with all the mans them? She said, yeah, you wanted in that room. I was like, wow, all right then. And then boom, I just stepped to the mic and then just went into automatic. And then the rest is history. This song, 20 years. We did this tune 20 years ago, seen? It was a really good session with these kids, man. It was good because they acknowledged me, because they became 14 years old again. And that showed that I did have an impact in this country.
It's a classic, man. It's like, that's the song that I used to play at my school parties. That's the song that everybody knows. That's the song that is still here today, 30 years later.
Yeah, General Levy and that. I started, saying the words along with him, and it sounds a bit like me as well. So, yeah, Jungle's probably the start of where I started to think, yeah, I could do this a bit.
I'll tell you what, I said to General Levy personally, we was wrong. And I can hold my hands up and say that now. Bless General Levy, he's smashing it, he's all around the world doing his tune, and he's a lovely brother, and he carries the music forward for us. We all play the tune for him now when it goes off, so it's all love.
I never get tired of it. I'm very much over it. That was then, this is now. I'm certainly not trying to relive that or interested in reliving that. It's good to document this, but that was then and now, this is now.
All I can say is that everything happened for a reason, and it's like having a baby. There's a lot of pain to make something beautiful.
That's everyone. Jerry Levy. 97, 98, Jungle started getting a little dark. There's a lot of trouble in Jungle Raves. There's a lot of fights happening, stabbings, and people getting robbed and stuff like that.
It got so violent. The next thing I was expecting guns to come out.
What the people understand is that Jungle's from the street, and it wasn't a college thing, it wasn't a uni thing, it's from the street, yeah? So a street movement can be pretty or it can be ugly, but no matter what happens, it's not going to be just nice, because you've got good and bad on the street.
Growing up in our cities, a lot of bad boys were into like crack cocaine and stuff, you know what I mean? But
Our area where we grew up, we didn't really respect it. As the young ones growing up, we didn't really respect that sort of thing. And jungle was full of that. So we liked the music and the MCs and in awe of the MCs, but when we looked around us, it didn't sit well with us street youths.
Now, a certain rave, you go in and you smell it straight away.
He had that, you know, just like in Parliament. What's the difference? When they're going to have a powder their nose, having their parties, what do you think they're doing? But we get condemned as the bad guys.
Let's all be real. The whole rave scene was built on drugs. The ecstasy, without the ecstasy, there wouldn't be no acid. So let's not go there. What happened was, when you got North London and South London and East London on the one roof, something's going to happen. It's got to kick off.
People started to bring their grievances to the club.
People going around snatching chains and all that.
People we know got shot there and there on the floor. People getting stabbed outside.
And I remember there was a time in my career where I kind of just thought to myself, like, I don't think this is for me. Like, I like this, but I might have to go and get a job, or I might have to move on from this because I'm not feeling this.
Once this trouble and stuff started kicking off, you know, a lot of the club owners in the West End was like, we don't want to, you know, take these bookings for jungle events no more. So, you know, to keep our scene alive, we had to make changes.
To me, they wanted to outlaw the jungle thing. They changed up the beat to take out the ragga and the reggae, and it kind of moved it like to drum and bass form.
The jungle's got soul, and it's got soul, it's got vibes, it's got energy, right? And it's got the way it is, the way it's built, right? Drum and bass ain't built that way.
We got soul, man. You know, it comes from the art. We like melodies, like, and I say we, I just count us as one people, what come from where we come from. That time there was a little separation of us and them. It was like a bit of us and them. Goldie, he come down to us and he done live in the studio, an open forum. Goldie's my brother, and me and him are cool, whatever. But it was like he come to destroy Cool FM that day. And he hurt us that day.
Can I get some coffee, please, sir?
Yes, sir. What would you like?
This is a coffee with some sugar in it. Go on. Cool FM.
Open forum discussion that you guys had.
The Metal Gate Affair! The Metal Gate Affair, yeah, bring it, come. I'm going to make Ron break it down for you, because you should have asked him the question. It's not a question for me.
Let me get it to you.
This is a man trying to come with some Caesar shit.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
Jab them up.
Goldie's doing his thing, and then there's Jungle. Now remember, everybody was protective of what like Goldie's already said. There was this protection about their arts, the craft, even me, right?
At the end of the day, the elements, and a lot of the elements and negative elements right now today,
it's just gone throughout history, man. You hear a tune now, a man might have something in my Glock or whatever. It's just one of those things, man.
gun talk, bullshit. We are creating our own environment. I don't want to see the youth culture getting messed up. Right, I don't want to see that. I'm not having it in my corner. Do you know what I mean? I'm not having none of it.
What is the difference between your scene and Goldie's scene?
All right, the difference between our scene and Goldie's scene is initially the music and the clientele that go to it. That's the only difference.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's not like Goldie's world disappeared over here. I've always been in the same place I've always been. It just means I've got an environment where I haven't got to get on a mic on a Sunday and talk about people getting messed up and this and that and whatever, because it's safe.
It's always been D&B and jungle. It doesn't really matter. It's called culture. And culture, the last time I checked, does what it says on a fucking tin in the dictionary. That's the Oxford Dictionary, by the way. Culture. It manoeuvres and moves within its environment. So for me, Mr. Concrete fucking Jungle, and D&B and whatever, when a man are looking over this fence, they're thinking it's something different. But you're in the same field, sunshine. We're animals within the same field.
Yeah, for real. You don't have to, you know, some people like the more techno angle of it. Some people like the more soulful angle of it. Some people like the more vocal aspect of it. Some people like the more bassy, roundy, bassy kind of. It's so many variations of it.
But it just moved on. People stopped using reggae samples and stuff so much. Basically, that's all it was. People stopped using reggae samples, and you know everyone's going like,
getting upset. Oh, there's no black people in it. Well, we're black. So what are you talking about?
For real, man.
When I started this thing when I was 22, there was no way
No
I
chance.
thought that I'd be operating with an orchestra
at the Royal Festival Hall.
At the Royal Festival Hall at any point in my life, because it's not where I was heading. I'm like, in my head, I was thinking, what, an orchestra with this music? No fucking way that's gonna work, no chance. Do you know what I mean? And they sat us down and said, yeah, we can do this. But my thing was, if it doesn't sound authentic, then it's not worth doing.
But there's no way we thought this was possible.
You have to remember, these tunes were made on bad equipment back in the day, out of tune, out of key. You know, they work because they're a vibe, not because they're musically correct.
When I saw all of these tunes on sheet music, I was like,
yeah, Nathaniel
that's mad. And you got to remember, nobody that made any of these tunes can read music. So that, you know what I'm saying? If one thing went wrong, it would have thrown the whole thing. And luckily, everything just came together. It felt like a moment for us. You know, my girl's mum was telling me that she used to go Royal Festival Hall and listen to Ella Fitzgerald and Dizzy Gillespie and all them kind of jazz artists, and she couldn't believe that I was actually performing there. She says it's for real. I never dreamt in a million years it would have gone as well as it did.
Jungle music has never been dead. Let me just get that straight. It's never been dead.
If you're standing in the 90s and you turn to 2020, give it a year, there's 30 years. But you can play this music right now in a club tonight and people go, what the fucking fuck is this music? And you go, it's 25, 26 years old.
We're now ready for takeoff.
It was almost like a vision. It was very, very futuristic. That whole jungle cultural movement was, I would say, the blueprint and the foundations for all the music that came after it.
Basically, jungle's the daddy. That's the bottom line.
That's right. Real talk, man.
Jungle is the mother of UK dance music.
The one uncle that's always been at the fucking party is Jungle D&B. He's the uncle no cunt wants to invite to the party. Because he comes to the party, the barbecue, and starts telling the kids the truth.